Hobbs. All right, all right, all right. We got the tier names. Oh, we usually just go in order. Pizza Party from the CEO is so good. We'll just add it. We'll add it in the brackets. All right. The first character going into generational wealth and privilege is obviously Zetterberg. Getting fired during team bowling. Wait, that's so sick. Zetterburn's fucked up. Zetterburn's also in a really good spot in the meta right now, where I think some of the more difficult characters for him and some of the other things that I feel like I have some part in the Zetterburn placement. No. If you check my last tier list 2 weeks ago before we played, he was still up here. I think Zetterburn's harder to play on Wi-Fi than he is, like, harder to play against on Wi-Fi than he is in person. And my only like barometer for that is I did pretty well into Sophie offline. When we kind of got into the swing of things, and it felt significantly easier than what I'm trying to do online. Or is this lore canon? This is an actual tier list. Yeah, and so like Shine is obviously a very strong tool, and even though it has counterplay, the counterplay has like 900 guesses built into it. So it's difficult to do consistency. He's got some of the best combos in the game. He has arguably the best kill power in the entire game. If not the best kill power, some of the most consistent kill power. Safe aerials, like tons of ways to approach. A really great projectile. And a pretty decent recovery. Which, again, is all to say that he... Consistent kill power. Yeah, he does. Which is all to say, like, it just is a character that doesn't have, like, a super clear weakness. Right? Zetterburn's weakness is that other characters are also broken. But that's not, like, a weakness. That's just, like, everyone around you's also fucked up. And you can get fucked up by their fucked up shit. But they also get fucked up by your fucked up shit. So it's like... At like the top tier, it kind of works out, I guess, because everyone's just doing something stupid. Lorena would like to have a word. We'll get there. We'll get there. Rano. Rano's a 9 to 5er, and I know. I think his disadvantage is a weakness. It's not a relevant one. Zetterburn doesn't have a. Zetterburn doesn't have a particularly bad disadvantage. I think I could name at least half the cast with a worse disadvantage than Zetterburn. Here's the thing. I know people hate Rano. And I get it, right? Like, base level, getting hit with fair a bunch of times is annoying. Needle is a good move. And, like, he runs around the screen and that can be frustrating. I'm on board. But when you look at what Rano actually does, where is Rano the best? He's the best at the ledge, right? He's the best at like edge guarding you, trying to put pressure on you off stage, all that sort of thing, right? And the plat drop. His combo game is good, but it also isn't better than anyone else's. Do you know what I mean? It's not better than anyone else's. It's not more significant than anyone else's. He has to rely on tech chasing pretty heavily, which is, again, even if his tech chases are good, which I will like admit that they are, his like tech chasing is strictly worse than just getting true combos. Do you know what I mean? And then on top of that, Rano has a couple of kill confirms, but again, it's nothing that's like you're getting all the time. And so this is not to say that Rano is bad, but I do think in a game where characters don't really play disadvantage that much, Rano has a uniquely bad disadvantage. His recovery is good, but it's not crazy. And because his jump is so high and floaty, he's not able to like drift around in the air that as much as he needs to. He's not able to go for certain mix-ups, right? So even though he's got a lot of good stuff, just compared to everyone else, Rano has a real disadvantage, and Rano has a like pretty average combo game, and then he's good on the ledge. There's a lot of characters that do that. And so you kind of have to admit, maybe the boy is not quite as good as you had hoped. Raster, this guy stinks. In the big 25, this guy stinks. He's got four and a half jobs and a pizza party. The pizza party is the fact that down air can mess up people's DI and then you can kill them really early. That's the pizza party. But the 4.5 jobs is at 0%, you can floor hug every single move this motherfucker has other than strong down air. And I guess the other strongs, but you're never going to hit those. His grab game, while better than some people's, is like not incredible. His tilts are okay, but like I said, he can you can floor hug them for a really, really long time. You can floor hug all of his aerials for a really long time. And I think the reason people find... And his recovery is bad. Like, Raster's recovery is, I would argue, within the bottom 3 or 4 of the entire cast. Maybe you disagree, but it's pretty bad. I wouldn't say it's the worst. I wouldn't say it's the worst, but it is not good. Yeah, and so Raster struggles in that regard. I think the main way that people struggle with Raster is there's a bunch of Rasters that just like jump above people's head. Pit does this in Ultimate too, where they just waste their jumps kind of hovering around you until you whiff a move, and then they whiff punish because they're just like right above your head. That's not real, right? Like the better you get, the less real that becomes. And so then when that stops working, Raster's neutral gets a lot harder. So, yeah, he's a character that's struggling right now. I don't know how much better I would want him to be. Because Raster is unfortunately designed in a way in which he's either ass or he's the most fucked up and annoying character to ever exist. But, you know, we'll see. This character's broken. This character has been within the top 3 characters in the game. Crag has been a top 3 character in the game since Genesis 2 years ago. It's been 2 years. And Crag is still the best character in the game. Still. It's been 2 years of this shit. And everyone else has been moved around and all of this fucking shit. Except for this guy. He also... There's a couple characters that have been good the whole time. But this motherfucker keeps getting little baby nerfs. And little... And then compensation buffs. I don't get why we're doing that. He gets little baby nerfs. He gets a compensation buff. And then he goes, no! 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 What's happening to me? What's happening? Ah! And then he's still fucked up. Why? I don't get it. He does everything. Uber consistent kill power. Uber consistent combo game. Insane pressure as a zoner. Insane setups as a set play character. Insane edge guarding. As a character that can go off stage. extremely lenient recovery. Like, clean neutral. Yeah, has a solid grab game. This motherfucker does everything. He does everything. And then, like, people will be like, oh, he's big. And he gets comboed. And he's easy to hit. And I don't give a fuck. Every character in this game is easy to combo. Other than, like, this one. Every character in this game. Thank you for the sub. Every character in this game is easy to combo. Everyone is. That's not Crag exclusive. So then Crag gets hit with like a fucked up combo. And I'm like, okay. Everyone would have got hit with that. And then the craziest part is people have the audacity to be like, look, Crag got hit with this crazy combo. But one, it's a combo other people would have got hit by. And two, Crag fucking lives. Crag fucking lives. He doesn't die at the end of the combo because he's so fucking heavy. People are lying to you. People just live, Crag, live. All right. That's enough. That's enough. We're moving on. We know that Crag is yeah, and he's hard to combo at low percents because he falls too fast. Someone said the quiet part out loud. I'll fall on the sword. I'll fall on the fucking sword. All right, moving on. This character, I don't know where to put. The nerfs to her have made her significantly less annoying to fight. Like, significantly. Like, before, I think she was up here without a question. That being said, she still has, like, a very strong neutral. The compensation buffs she got lean into her being a zoner a little bit more and are decent. And she still has a really insane offstage presence. And some really insane hitboxes. Like, she's low-key a sword character. So we're gonna think about this. I think the main weakness Fleet has is obviously she's slow. Which isn't like too big a factor. Her recovery is not great. Although it's not bad either. You can oftentimes force her to go onto stage, which means you can get big punishes. That being said, she is floaty. And the weakness of being floaty is often outdone by down air and the fact that float allows you such a like free mix up. And she also has like really good stage presence, and I think Fleet has probably one of the best neutrals in the game. So she does have some of this like explosive power, it just feels less consistent. So we'll put it here for now, and then we'll see how we feel about it after. This character, Maple, I think I would also put in this tier. I would put him lower than Fleet, though. And he might end up being at like she might end up being at the bottom of this tier. I think they nerfed her wrong. I don't agree. I think they nerfed her right. Maybe not hard enough, but I think they hit the right stuff. For Maple, she also got a pretty significant nerf in terms of her recovery, in terms of her airspeed. Both of those things combined kind of made her a little bit easier to deal with off stage. She doesn't get back as free as she used to. So there's definitely like a change there insofar as what she's good at. She still like really dominates stage presence. Nair and F tilt are still both really good moves. Her grab game is incredibly solid. If she hits you with an up air, you're taking a ton of damage. She's still got like tether confirms up the wazoo, and she's still got a crazy edge guarding. Maple's edge guarding is really, really good, especially like people who are willing to go deep off stage. And I think that's where Maple shines, but it's less consistent than these characters. It's a lot less consistent than these characters. And so I think her Consistency of combo game, her consistency of killing, and her consistency of like putting her in risky situations off stage, especially now that her recovery's been nerfed. There's something to be said about that. It's not as good as it was before. This character is really good. That being said, she is not the best. I think we need to come around on this. Trust me, I'm on board with you guys. Claren's fucking annoying. Trust me, I'm on board. But, so the difficulty is, like, circle camping Claren is so good. If someone is committed to just camping you as Claren, unless you take the first stock, you have to take risks in order to interact with her. And that's on top of the fact that she can let a dash attack rip at any fucking time, and that just mixes you up. And so there are some difficulties with that because, if Claire decides to approach, she's good at that, but she's not quite as good at that. But if you play optimally, really you shouldn't be approaching that often, and you can just kind of jab and down tilt. Claren's got super good combos, super good grab game, super consistent kill confirms. Her recovery, again, John back air. I remember John back air. Her recovery, again, is a little bit on the weaker side, where it's not like blatantly weak, but it's also not particularly strong. There are ways to interact with it positively, is what I'm trying to say. But I think the only area in which Claren like suffers is if you're really able to smother her with one of the fucked up characters. I think anybody who doesn't have that other stuff going on, Claren just beats. I think the difficulty is once you get the characters that can do the messed up stuff back, Claren's like a pretty nice combo weight, and Claren recovery is like exploitable enough that these characters will just kill her for stuff like that. And so I think that's where the difference is made. And I think the consistency hit to up throw, where you can now DI out of it 100% of the time, again, just hits her consistency a little bit and her low percent punish game. Even though it is still very good, it's not as good as it was. And so, yeah, there's something to be said about that. This character is very good, but you have to play her a very particular way. And you don't really have to play these two a very particular way, is what I'm trying to say. You can play these two fuckers however you want. All right, Loxodon. What do we do with Loxodon? I want to put him up here. And I think popular opinion for a very long time has been that Loxodon's not very good. And to a degree, I can get behind it, right? Like, he's floaty, he's slow, his recovery's meh. All of those things are true. But Loxodon has a very commanding presence in neutral with some of the best buttons in the game. And Loxodon's punish game and like ability to edge guard are two of the best in the game. Like, I would say easily. I don't even think it's particularly close. And so, yeah, you can kind of like camp him back, and that's hard for him. But it is really hard when it is quite hard when like you get hit with a down air, or you get grabbed, or if you get hit with an up tilt, like he just obliterates you. And enough Loxodons are putting up tournament results that I'm like, it's hard to deny it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, you can like edge guard him if you get him off stage, but like his recovery is not even like that bad, especially when you bring in like the down B cancels. I'll put him here for now, and we can reconsider. But I think Loxodon's better than people give him credit for. And then the other thing is it can be hard to combo Loxodon again because he's the opposite of Rano. It can be hard to combo Loxodon because he's floaty. I don't know. Yeah, he's also simple, which is nice, right? Like he has a very consistent and simple game plan, which is nice to have in a character. And a lot of Lox's moves cover cross-ups. Yeah, he just like he does a lot of stuff latently so that like as a player you don't have to worry about it, and it's pretty good. Orcane. This character is very good, but is definitely struggling right now. I think the difficulty is like people are sort of figuring out how to play around bubbles. People are sort of figuring out how to play around all of that stuff. Orcane is more of like a 1 to 3 hit combo type of character. Not to say that you can't get more, but you don't often get too much more if people DI right, so you're not outputting that much damage. And then again, while Orcane has kill confirms, they're not exactly like the most consistent of all time. Orcane does have like a pretty strong off stage presence, and his bear is an incredible kill move, and oftentimes like the bread and butter. But Orcane feels like a character that's very hard to pilot because of how like movement based he is and how heavily you need to make sure that you are using his movement to like maximum capacity. Like maybe we could do this. Maybe. Yeah, and he doesn't have like a super solid approach tool. He doesn't have a super solid way of stuffing jumps in. So it all has to be like movement, which makes his like skill ceiling pretty high. That on top of his recovery nerf has made his recovery a lot less threatening. And these characters just kind of fucking run at him. And he can't really do anything about it. Like he just doesn't do enough to do anything about it. So I think I have Orcane pretty low right now. But yeah, obviously like there are players like Plup and Marlin making Orcane work. The same way that there's people making Rano work, right? But again, it's a little harder, and that's not to say that you can't do it. Like there's people who play Raster and do well in tournament too. So like every character can do something in bracket. But I think it's just a little bit harder right now for this character in particular. Forsburn. That boy's pretty good. That boy's pretty good. There's not much else to say about it. Clone is a really good pressure tool. Forsburn's recovery, while being like to a degree exploitable, has a lot of good things about it and ways to set up the clone to cover your own recovery. He's got great buttons. He's got great tech chasing off of his throws that lead to like 40%. He's got a great air-to-air and forward air that sets up for like gigantic combos. Like I said, back air is a great kill move. And down tilt and dash attack both have a pretty high threat range. This on top of, and people aren't necessarily on game about this yet, but the new change, the dash attack withhold change. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where if you're not holding forward, you don't dash attack anymore, and it'll automatically do a tilt out of your initial dash on like a buffer. That is a gigantic quality of life buff for Forsburn. Holy fuck. I cannot over exaggerate how big of a buff that is. Because now you can get buffered dash forward down tilts and buffered dash forward up tilts and buffered dash forward jabs in a way that you couldn't before. And again, you could do it before, right? Like if you had the timing right, or you baby dash, or you just or you just like wave dashed. Again, you could just do that right into tilts. But it's a very good quality of life from the perspective of now you don't even have to worry about it, right? You can do whatever like comes to your mind, and it lowers the text ceiling. So the character's quite good right now. And I think that helps with it, especially at those like mid to high levels, not necessarily high level, because I don't think people are struggling with it at that level. But I also think the other aspect of this is Forsburn's a hard character. He has a lot of setups that you have to learn. He doesn't like he has decent kill confirms, but they're not exactly like free. His throws are pretty intuitive to DI outside of those like kill percents. And so he has to like work for it in neutral. And to a degree, either play very, very safe or make a couple of guesses, which, again, these characters kind of have a game plan that just stays the same and works all the time. Whereas Forsburn, like, he has to think a little more, which I think keeps him from being up here. He is very, very good, though. Daedalus. This character's fucked up. This character's fucked up. You guys. This character's been fucked up. I don't know if you guys have seen Adam and fucking Animal play. This character's insane. This character's insane. He does everything. Recovery, okay. Again, it's not great, but it's not bad either. Off-stage presence, ridiculous. Daedalus has more checkmate situations off-stage than any other character in the game. By far. By far. He has more checkmate situations than any other character in the game off-stage. Dash check, being the combo tool that it is insane. Most of his aerials are safe. Forward air is a giant wall of pain and suffering. His grab game is good. Again, his offstage game is good. Back air is so safe. You just back air or back throw back air people off stage and they fucking die. Like, he can do so much for his punish game. And the area where he struggles, again, is he doesn't really have like a super fast button at a disadvantage. His recovery can be kind of bad. And there's some characters in the game, like Claren, and probably Craig, that just give him a really hard time because they just get on him and they never get off. That being said, he's always in the game. You're always at kill percent. And even if you manage to live on stage, there's still stuff like dash attack up strong if you DI wrong. And so he's got so many ways to like ruin your day. And this isn't even taking into account the fact that he can make himself the heaviest character in the game by far. And the fact that down tilt is a great combo tool as well. Down tilt and up tilt both like auto space on the ice. So you can't even grab them. All of that's to say, he's pretty good. That's a pretty good character. that's a pretty good guy right there. Olympia. This character does a lot. Really, it's hard to over exaggerate how much of this fella does. So what's good about Olympia? Olympia has a very, very strong presence in neutral. Olympia has a very incredible way to mix up the way that she's approaching you. A very incredible way to mix up like what she's coming down with. She has a whole suite of safe aerials. She has a ton of good combo options. She has a great grab game. Again, very safe aerials on shield that facilitate her very fast buttons. Once this character gets on you, it's very hard for you to get off, or very hard for you to get her off. And then the other aspect of it is she has Crystal, which is a great way of like breaking up the pace in a game where now people like have to wait a half beat because they never know if a crystal's coming out. Her recovery is not the best. But again, with all of the gem dash stuff, and everything else like that. Her recovery is certainly not bad. And I think the only thing that you could conceivably call a weakness for her is how fast she falls. Because while it can make her a little bit harder to combo at low percents if you don't have good tech chasing, at higher percents, there's a bunch of characters that have like Olympia specific kill confirms, and there's ways to finesse her off stage, which make her a little bit higher risk than some of the other characters. For me, the reason I have Zetterburn above Olympia is because he doesn't have some of those same problems. Zetterburn's recovery is a decent bit better than Olympia's, in my opinion. It's more flexible at the very least, and you can come back more times, especially after the nerfs. They both have that very safe aerial game, but you get a bigger reward off of hitting a shine than you do off of hitting most of Olympia's moves. I don't want to say all. And he's just more consistent. Like, it's really, really close, but I genuinely think just at the end of the day, Zetterburn gets a couple more opportunities per stock to just ruin your day. Where, like, Olympia has the same capacity for it. The toothpick changes everything. Olympia definitely has the same capacity for it. But I think it's not as simple. And again, people will be tilted at me for saying that, but I've seen a number of Zetterburn players be like, oh, I'm just going to play Olympia. And then they all do. And then they do worse. I won't name any names, but you know who you are. You know who you are. And so if she's so good and so easy and so much better than Zetter, the only one that did better was Stango. I'll give it up on that front. Stango did pick her up and do better. But post nerf, again, you guys have a short memory. Post nerf, Stango went Olympia, lost, and went Zetterburn. I was there. You can't make me forget that. I remember it. And guess what? Took a game. He took a game. Was that even post-nerf? That might have been pre-nerf. And so whether Stango is gaslighting himself about Zetterburn or not, again, remains to be seen. But it was at Evo. You're right. It actually was at Evo. And that was against Plup. So it was pre-nerf. So he switched to Zetter pre-nerf and did better. These people fucking piss me off, man. These people piss me off. Trying to act like that didn't happen. I was fucking there, man. I was fucking there. So yeah, that's where I'm falling with that, if I'm being honest with you. It was pre-nerf Zetter, though, right? I mean, Zetter has not gotten anywhere near as significant a nerf as Olympia got. In recent time, at the very least. Olympia pre-nerf was, like, here. Okay, Absa. This character is tricky. Abs is a really tricky character to rank, because I think the main issue is she has one representative who's really, really good and is like top 8ing basically everything, which is Ant. And then there's a couple in Europe and there's a couple in other places that are doing okay stuff, but nothing on the level what Ant's doing. And Ant was also, may I remind you, pushing Rano into top 8. So Ant's just a very good player in general. The question kind of becomes, how good do you think she is? And how much do you think people are going to catch up to what Ant is doing? It's kind of hard to pick her up. It's not that hard, though. She's also just unique. And again, I'll say for reference, right? For reference, my Lorena, who is a character in an archetype that I play regularly, got into Masters at level, I think it was around level 85 is when I got into Masters. My Absa, which is an archetype of character that I don't normally play, that being like a set play zoner and a character with a double jump cancel, is only level 30. So this was significantly easier than this, and it was also easier than this. This guy got to level 55 before he got to Masters. So in terms of like my experiencing of them, this was easier than both of these. So do we think this? Do we think this? Do we believe? Do we think this? How? I'm so conflicted about Maple. I'm very conflicted about Maple. It's this or this. I don't know if I would do, maybe I could do this. You don't think Abs is above Maple? I think it's really close. I'm just trying to think like, and again, if we go from a results perspective, we have like Elkies, we have Yoda Cage, and we have Plup. And Plup is obviously like messing people up with this character. But again, it's just Plup. But I guess like this is also just Ant. So I'll give it up. I'll give it up. If we're going Ant, then this is Plup. And like we have Elkies and we have Yoda Cage and other stuff. Whereas this has like Zahime and a couple other people and like Shadowhawk making moves, but it's not as significant. This game is fucked up. It's true. It's a fucked up game. Did Yoda Cage switch to Absa? It's built in. It's built in. He is swapping? Holy fuck. Wait, guys. Wait, guys. It's Absa Summer. Might be Absa Summer. Yoda Cage has an Absa? Ab Summer. I'm putting her above. I'm putting her above. That's what my heart is saying. That's what my heart is saying. It says Absa's a little better. Has a higher skill ceiling. Absa blows you the fuck up. Elgies is not switching anytime soon. And you know why. You know why. It's because one of these things doesn't work. Okay, Galvin. He's good, man. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. So here's my take on Galvin. Galvin is the best character in the game on the ledge. Galvin is the best character in the game on the ledge. I don't think it's a conversation. Once Galvin gets you off stage and he grabs the ledge, he is now the best character in the game. Not many other characters have that. Galvin has 4 safe aerials. Galvin has a good throw game. Galvin's neutral is decent if you're trying to approach. Quite good if you're not trying to approach, because you can mix in neutral B and the back hit of Nair, which is just like the biggest disjoint in the game for some reason. And then the new buff, again, you guys might think that buff wasn't very big because it was only 4 frames off the back of side B. That buff made a huge difference in the kind of combos that you can get into side B. Weak Nair combos into side B. Strong Nair combos into side B. Up air can combo into side B. Forward air can combo into side B. Back air can combo into side B. And all of them will kill at around 80%. So Galvin's advantage state, especially the really good Galvins at this point, are blowing people up. Here's the problem. Here's the one problem. This character has a really hard time approaching. Like, I think he has a genuinely hard time approaching because of how slow his airspeed is, and it's just how slow he is generally. And his recovery is bad. Like, it's legitimately bad. And so those are like two defined weaknesses that this character actually has. It's not bottom one. I hate to tell you. It's not bottom one, but it is bad. And so does that keep him from being up here? Do we put him here or do we put him here? What do we feel like? Hakuna Matata? People are feeling Hakuna Matata for Galvin. Again, I don't know if it makes like a tangible difference. It feels like he can compete with these characters in a way that maybe these can't. Some people think 9 to 5. I mean, this looks nicer in terms of like it's even on the top and bottom, and that speaks to me. But I do think he is a character that will get better with time, and like technically this is still bottom 5, bottom 6, whatever. But as people get better with this character, they're gonna do more. Every time someone says bad recovery, I'm conditioned into not believing them. I mean, bad recovery is relative, right? Like, Zedar, Ollie, and Ellis don't have bad recoveries. Anyone who tells you that those characters have bad recoveries are gaslighting you, and you should consider not having them as friends anymore. This is not a game with any truly bad recoveries. Yeah. So true. The one thing that we have to say about Galvin is, other than Mystery Souls Galvin getting a win at Port, wasn't even solo, but did get a win, like a good win. We haven't seen any super significant results for this character. Certainly not as many as Loxodon. And so this is kind of like, this is hedging your bets that this character is going to show up, and people like Phantom and people like Switch are going to be coming out swinging with this character. This is kind of staying maybe a little bit more realistic of like, okay, this is what his strengths are. This is what his weaknesses are. But it's hard to say. Are there any significant Galvins going to LMBM? I think is the other question. Because this is definitely like a character that would struggle to make top 8. But like, these characters all semi-struggle to make top 8 outside of one specific rep. Phantom and Switch are. Yeah, so Phantom and Switch are going. We're going to have 2 of these in top 32. At least. And yeah. I actually think I think Galvin's good against Raster. If it's about reps, Abzo would be 9 to 5. You're right. So now it's just a matter of if I believe that he can do it over time, even though Daedalus has like the way higher representation. Or not Daedalus, Loxodon. I think Loxodon, it's tough with Loxodon because it feels like he... Oh yeah, Hampolo played him for a while as well. And Hampolo's results did drop. But I wouldn't say so significantly. Like he was still doing very well. It just wasn't Zedar tier. So this is still like adequately far enough that would make sense. Viv is playing this character too now. Enough people are playing him. Enough good people are playing him that I'm comfortable putting him up here. I think you could make an argument that Loxodon should also be up here, and then just these two should be down here. And then we have a really big Hakuna Matata tier. I don't know if that looks and or feels weird. It does look kind of weird. Maybe we need to split Hakuna Matata. That's interesting. I actually don't disagree with you. I actually think you're spitting. So what we're going oh god, what has happened? What we're actually going to do is this has got to be this yellow. And then this has got to be this yellow. And then this has got to be the green. Okay. We're going to have Hakuna and Matata tier. Because that feels better, doesn't it? That does feel better. What do you guys think? Because I think that's where the cutoff would be for me. Of like, these characters are almost up here. And these guys are almost up here, but I wouldn't consider them almost up here. Yeah, that does feel better. You guys cooked on that. And then I can justify moving Loxodon up. Because I do think Loxodon is competitive with these two characters. We don't need to move Claren down a tier. Just stop. I think I feel comfortable with this. And then, the piece de resistance. The goat. Raster gets his whole own tier. Look at him, sitting there by himself. By himself, eating breadcrumbs. No friends. No friends. Just haters everywhere. Yeah. Unfortunately, move every character Nurse plays up one. It's crazy that I've made top... I'm going to flex on you now. I want to flex on you now. Top 32 at a major with this character. Top 32 at a major with this character. Top 32 at a major with this character. I'm about to make top 32 at a major with this character. I've gotten masters with this character, this character, this character, this character, this character, this character, this character. Fuck. This character, this character, this character, this character, this character, and this character. And you're gonna come at me. You're gonna come at me like I'm rating characters based on the fact that I play them. Why no Fleet or Locks? Why would I look at those characters? Why would I do that? Did you get Masters with Locks? No, I didn't. I've never played Loxodon in my life. My Loxodon's level 0. So is my Fleet. Level 0 for a reason. If you play those characters, that's on you. That's on you. That's on you. It's not for a lack of trying. Didn't even try at all. Or I guess it is for a lack of trying. It's not for like I had an effort and it wasn't possible. I didn't even do it. I didn't even do it. Level 0. Someone like subbed to ask me to play Loxodon. I played one game of Loxodon for the people. But like, don't. You think I want to play this fucking elephant and just nair, jab, oh, I grabbed you and then I up-throwed you and I downbeat. I'm so fucking sick. Oh my god. Oh, do you see? When I spawn the neutral bee, oh, I nared it, right? I nared it once and then I hit it with a forward tilt, right? And oh, look at the control I have over the stage and this meatball. Oh, I side B tech form platform tech chased you. Oh my god, you got upstronged on the platform because it covers the whole fucking thing. Get over yourself. Okay, back to Lorena. What do we say about Lorena? Sounds exactly like my brain every game I play logs. What do we say about Lorena? This is the question. She's an ant. That is true. She is an ant. Okay, so what's the actual problem with Lorena? Let me break it down. Lorena has the worst recovery in the game. She has the worst recovery in the game. We'll start there. And it's noticeably the worst. That can be a problem. Lorena has the worst grab game in the game. That can be a problem. Because she's supposed to do a lot when she grabs you. But unfortunately, she has the worst grab game in the game. So she's not threatening in that regard. Her aerials, specifically back air, up air, and down air, are hit grabs, which is really good when people are trying to floor hug, so that's a bonus. The problem is to combat that. The devs have made every one of her aerials that's not forward air really slow. Down air's frame like 12 or 13, back air's frame 12, up air's frame 13. They're really slow. And so that's a negative. Down air's also not even safe on shield. Okay. What else is she weak with? She's stubby. Up tilt works as an anti-air sometimes. Forward tilt and down tilt are good moves, right? They're really good moves. But they're pretty small, comparatively, especially compared to what some other characters have. She's not particularly fast. And she doesn't have a good way to approach. Right? Forward tilt and forward air, while really good moves, are not exactly great approach tools. Fair enough. What is Lorena good at? What is Lorena good at? She is good at some things. Chair is a very, very strong, let's say, tool in general. Right? Being able to pull back chair and have that be threatening is really good. Being able to downbeat to the chair and have that be threatening is really good. And so being able to set up chair on stage puts a lot of pressure on your opponent to potentially approach you. The problem is some characters benefit from the chair more than you do. But that's besides the point because it's not everyone. So chair is really good. What else is Lorena good at? She has some good buttons. Forward tilt, down tilt, forward air, and forward strong are all very good buttons. Very good. The problem is that's 4 good buttons among characters that have 18. And her combo game is okay. I would say it's probably in the lower quarter of the cast. She doesn't do a ton of damage. She doesn't do a ton of damage even after the damage buffs. Side B doesn't really have a use. And it seems to fill a niche that doesn't really exist other than trying to cheese people off stage, which is like, why? You could have made it actually do something. And so, unfortunately, what ends up happening with Lorena is if you want to be good and consistent with Lorena, she can do it, right? She's not so far below everyone that it's unwinnable, right? Even Lorena, with a good enough rep or some like lucky situations going her way or whatever, can beat these characters. The problem is how you have to play her to do that, right? You have to play Lorena as if she's a set play zoner. You have to play her like she's Snake. And that's an insane sentence, considering everything, right? Like, that is an insane sentence. but you have to play her kind of like she's Snake. Yeah, down throw is kind of like Snake down throw. And then the chair like sets up pressure kind of like the grenades do. And then like she has good buttons that can threaten people off stage. So you kind of have to play her like Snake. The problem is she's not very good at being Snake. But she's better at being Snake than she is at being a grappler. If you tried to play Lorena as a grappler, she would be down here. Right? She's not good at that. And so you have to play her, again, kind of like a set play zoner. You play her kind of like Snake. She's not very good at that, but she can do it. And there's still opportunity for like big moments and big combos. But unfortunately, every other character in the game gets more off of a grab than Lorena gets. And that's tough, right? And most characters in the game have bigger reward off of getting their combo starters. And so all of that stuff ends up being pretty tough. Yeah. So I think you have to consider Lorena in the context of the other characters in the game, as opposed to just like, oh, like she seems neat on base principles. And again, she's really fun and she can do it. But it doesn't make sense the way that it is right now. And I think as time goes on, again, people will get better at her. People will get better at the chair stuff. People will get better at finding ways to interact with it in that regard and extending combos and stuff like that. Like, right? People will get better at that. But again, that's not the grappler stuff. That's the Snake stuff. And so she's just getting better a little bit at being Snake. And so again, whether you think Lorena needs a buff or not, I think there's a conversation about, do you want her to be Snake? Probably not, right? Like I think that's probably not what the devs wanted. And so you kind of have to contextualize what that is. Somebody said, does she need to be a grappler? Not inherently, right? She doesn't inherently need to be a grappler. She was marketed as a grappler. In Rivals 1, she was a grappler. And she's dressed like a grappler. And the marketing team from the devs have said that their design intention with her was to make her a grappler. And so again, you could make the argument of like, yeah, Snake, grabby Snake, I guess, is kind of cool. And maybe you can like lean into that and keep changing her and keep buffing those aspects of her kit to make her like Snake with some grabs or some hit grabs and stuff like that. But she's not a grappler. She's just not. And so when that's what she's being sold as, I think there's a conversation to be had of like, did they succeed in that regard? And again, on base principles, they didn't, right? They made Snake. And so, yeah, I that's kind of where we're at with it, right? That being said, this is the tier list. I kind of ranted about Lorena for a while. I'm sure you guys have seen the sub goal thing in the bottom corner. How do you make her a grappler? Buff her throws? I have a couple ideas of how you would buff her throws in a way that would make her a grappler. Lucky Snake is cool. Snake's not cool. I'm sorry to break your heart. Yeah. I think the other aspect of this is, thanks for the cheer. For Snake is lame. Here's the thing. You guys see the sub goal in the corner with real brave, true Lorena content. This is what the video would be about. The video would be titled, Lorena is not a grappler, in brackets, and you're playing her wrong. And so the video would be about my understanding of Lorena, what I think she's supposed to do, and then go over like what she's good at and effectively what I'd change. And then at the end of that would be a little guide between like, okay, so while she's strong at these sort of things, like how do you play Lorena optimally or like Snake, for lack of a better term. And I would go over that in the video. So if that's something that you would like to see in a more like cohesive format, the reason it's a sub goal is because I would be paying somebody to edit the video because I don't know how to do that shit. So that it looks nice, right? And that it's high quality because I don't want to put something out there that's just like gonna be shitty. So if that's something that you're interested in, that's what the sub goal is for. That being said, we've done it. Let's